I think what a lot of people look for when booking a provider is touch. You know, they're not getting touch in their marriage, their relationships, just in general.
When we talk about a professional companion, is that companionship or is that kind of code for something else?
So it's different for every single provider. For me personally, I do see it as professional companionship. I see it as, the girlfriend experience is what we all call it. And for me, that literally means I'm your girlfriend for however long we're together.
Is there, I guess, to get right to it, right? Like, is there sex involved?
Um, it's not guaranteed, is my official answer.
So then I would imagine that it does happen in certain circumstances.
Yes, it does happen every now and then, more often than not, but it's not guaranteed.
So do people kind of know that going into it? Or how does that kind of, like, how do you deal with expectations, I guess?
The clients that I see, I try to weed them out and I try to see clients that will respect me as a person and are seeking more of a girlfriend.
More of a girlfriend-like experience.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get into this?
So I started sex work when I was 18. I started as a cam girl, did cam girling for a couple of years, just kind of, I was in college and trying to make money to get through college. And everyone was doing it, so I did the cam girl thing for a while. That then went into, what did I do? I was doing a lot of online stuff like selling panties, sexting, phone calls. And then that turned into doing sugar babying. You know, I was in college and a lot of college girls kind of get onto, certain sites and they sugar for a couple years. And then I just got really tired of it. I was actually really, really close to quitting. And my good friend asked if I just wanted to just try escorting because she just thought it would be something good for me. Generally, they're more respectful of your time and don't take advantage of, young, new people, generally.
The generally is the big part, right?
Yep. So I tried escorting and I fell in love with it. So I've been doing it since, I think November of 2020, maybe.
Do you enjoy it? Like, is this something that you like doing, or is this like, look, I can make a lot of money like this?
I enjoy it so much. I feel like I help a lot of people. I actually feel like I'm making a difference in a lot of people's lives. I love meeting new people. I love hearing all these different backgrounds. I love giving them something that they've been needing for, sometimes even years. And so it just makes me feel really fulfilled. And I'm a social person. So having a job where I can just interact with someone one-on-one is really what I've been looking for, as a career.
For somebody who might be listening to it and like maybe is skeptical and hearing like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, it's companionship, that kind of thing. Is it really companionship or is it something else?
For me, it's companionship. So I kind of go about my dates like a date. I'll go in there and, we'll sit down, get to know each other. One thing can lead to the next, but generally it's mostly just us sitting here talking, sometimes sharing a bottle of wine if it's an extended session, sometimes going out on dates, going to dinners. And yeah, so I want to say the important part is the conversation, the connection.
So for you, it really is more about the companionship, and then if it evolves into something else, it evolves into something else.
Absolutely.
How often would you say that it evolves into something else if you had to kind of put like a percentage on it?
I'm not going to put a percentage on it for purposes that are legal.
That makes sense. I think everybody can kind of understand that. To follow up on that, is this legal? Kind of, maybe, not really.
It kind of sits in the gray zone. A lot of the services that are offered, like I do escorting as well as dominatrixing. So dominatrixing it kind of falls in the legal gray zone. Escorting kind of lean towards the red zone. So we just kind of have to be careful about how we go about it.
I would imagine it's kind of like, well, you're paying me for my time, and you kind of can get around it in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So then when we talk about like being a professional companion, how do people find you? Like, how does this whole kind of process work?
So people find me through certain advertising websites. There's plenty of sites out there that are for advertising these services. And so I use what we call Trist. It's what works for me. It depends on each city as well. Some cities, certain sites work better than others. So for me, I've been using Trist for almost my entire career, and it's worked really well for me. It's owned by sex workers, and so I know that they have our best interests at heart.
Now, are most people kind of one and done is the first thing that I can think of. I know that's not like the best phrasing exactly, but will you see people multiple times? Or is it you like, do you have regulars, or is it kind of like I'll see somebody once and then maybe that I'll see them again?
So I do pride myself in maintaining or retaining a lot of regulars. I want to say the majority of my clientele is regulars. I will see maybe one new person a week or maybe one new person, sometimes a month, depending on the season. We do have slow seasons. We have not so slow seasons. It varies depending on the time of year. So generally I do have regulars and I love it. It's like you go into the session and it's like catching up with an old friend. Just like, hey, how have you been since, last couple weeks I saw you? And it's just nice.
Does the sexual aspect of it make it awkward? Like, would this industry be easier without that, or is it easier with that?
I think what a lot of people look for when booking a provider is touch. They're not getting touch in their marriage, their relationships, just in general. So I think, yeah, they're looking for touch. So, cuddling, touching, whatever involves fingers.
They may not be looking for the whole enchilada, but they want
someone to at least just touch them. And it really does do a lot for your mental health, just having someone who's willing to do that.
So kind of looking at in terms of like, obviously this is a service that you're charging for. Basically, like, how much are you charging? What are the costs? That kind of stuff.
For me, I charge $400 an hour. When I started the industry, I was charging $200, and as I was getting more regulars, I needed to weed more and more people out because I was getting too many inquiries. So it's just kind of like supply and demand, like any other industry. The more regulars I get, the more I can feel comfortable raising my rates. So I have time to see my people. I'm not the type of provider who will try to shove as many sessions in a week as possible. I have another job. I got a life. So I'm not trying to do, 8 sessions a week. I'm more of my average is around 2.
About 2 sessions a week. Now, I mean, how long will a typical one last?
It can range anywhere between 1 hour, which is my minimum, to the longest I've had is 2 days.
You were just like hanging out the whole time?
I gave myself a couple breaks. I think I got around 2 breaks. So I gave myself some time to kind of decompress. And, Katana is very much a persona, so it's hard to maintain a persona for 2 whole days. So sometimes you just need to decompress a little bit. And
that's what I was going to ask you, right? Like, when you kind of do this, is it more of a character that you're playing, or would you say that, like, no, this is kind of the real me?
It's kind of both. I have a very bubbly personality. That's just my baseline. And so I do bring that into my work, and I think it helps a lot with it. I feel like I'm more genuine than maybe some people are used to. So I do bring that aspect of my personality into my professional persona. But ultimately, it is a professional persona. I don't make, personal friendships with my clients. And so kind of have to draw the line there. And
now, can this be a full-time job?
So I can make it a full-time job. It was a full-time job for a while before I moved from Michigan to Dallas. Finished college and just needed something to do between college and finding a career. So for me, it will always be part-time, full-time-ish. I do spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, it's not full-time because you have other stuff going on, but it could provide you with a full-time living.
Yes.
If you were to kind of put a number on what you would be looking at a year from it, we talking 5 figures? 6?
6, possibly. I kind of hover around there.
That's pretty good. Now, compared to like other people who are in the industry, would you say that's high, low, about average?
I don't know, actually. We don't, I mean, we talk about how much we charge, but we generally don't talk about, our yearly income very often. So it's hard to tell.
Do people in kind of the straight traditional like escort industry look at people in the professional companion industry different?
Some of them do, some of them don't. It's mostly a lot of higher end escorts kind of see what we call survival sex workers, the people doing it to make their bills, to survive, to put food on the table. A lot of them sometimes will look down on those providers just because they don't have as strict of screening processes because they can't afford it, or they don't have ads that are as high quality because they can't afford it. They can't afford a good photographer. So that kind of sucks about the industry, and it's something you have to be mindful of for sure as you're kind of progressing with your career in this industry. It's just kind of be humbled.
Would you feel like there's a lot of competition?
We are really good at supporting each other. I've never looked at another provider and gone, my God, your competition. I've looked at other providers and gone, I want to be friends. I want to know, you're like, how do you go about your business? Let's just be friends and, talk about our experiences together.
It's not really that kind of a thing necessarily.
Yeah, it kind of gets lonely in the industry sometimes because you'll have your friends who understand what you do, but they don't really understand, if that makes sense. Like they're supportive, but they don't, if you're telling them stories about how your sessions went, they won't get it.
Do you feel a lot of judgment over it?
With the people I surround myself with, no. I have gotten judgment before from healthcare professionals. Because whenever you hear I'm an escort, a lot of them will hear I am being sex trafficked. And so the first question they'll ask is, are you doing this against your will? And with, like, for example, with my old therapist, I had to explain to her multiple times that this is what I choose to do. This is what I love doing. And no minor inconvenience is going to make me step away from this industry. It's my career.
So are you ready for some harder/listener submitted questions?
Oh, bring it on.
How much of this is about sex? How much of it is about companionship?
I don't really think about the sex, to be honest. Like I said, I go about it thinking I'm a companion and not one who provides sex. So I don't really think about the sex.
Do you feel a pressure, though? Like if you say, like, hey, this isn't happening, what's kind of somebody's reaction on the other end of that?
I mean, a lot of people are understanding. A lot of people go into it, especially the clients I see, understanding that it's not a guarantee.
That makes sense. But nobody would be like, hey, wait a minute, I want my money back.
In my early Katana days, yes, people would have done that.
What changed?
I just learned how to screen clients better. I, learned what to look out for when it comes to clientele. I've learned, I guess I just gained wisdom in this industry.
Isn't it crazy how you look back on your younger self and you were like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, yes. Like, I used to not screen. I had no idea who I was seeing. I used to charge, not much at all.
Did you feel unusually naive going into the industry? Or is this like everybody kind of goes through this?
I think that everyone kind of goes through it. I was lucky enough to have a friend who was actually in the industry already. So she was kind of able to navigate part of it. She was a dominatrix. I was an escort. So there is an overlap, but it's also pretty different. So we kind of navigated it together, and it was nice just having someone there with you, discovering things with you, sharing notes. So I think I was lucky in that aspect. I had someone else to talk to. And also we have online communities that are supportive of sex workers. And it's just a bunch of sex workers getting together and, supporting each other, telling each other stories, lifting each other up, etc.
What is your most interesting request? What is your most common request?
So I provide both escorting and dominatrix services. Escorting services, it's more general. I won't get generally any specific requests. Maybe I'll get the occasional, can you wear cosplay for the session? To which I say no, because the wig hurts my head. With dominatrixing, you do get very specific requests. And it's very interesting what people want out there, and especially being an Asian provider. a lot of people kind of lean into the Asian fetish and go like, hey, can you do an Asian accent for me the whole time? Can you speak Vietnamese to me? Not the whole time, but can you speak Vietnamese to me? And I've never been with an Asian provider before, so I don't know.
Is it that bad? That's that big of a thing?
Yeah, I attribute a lot of my success to my ethnicity. While I don't really like race play, but also it's fairly beneficial to me. So I do accept that I am an Asian provider, and I do have certain perks because of that. I get more clientele because of that, but I try not to lean into it too much because I don't want to do an Asian accent during a.
I don't even know what an Asian accent is.
I cannot do one to save my life. So
the people who are interested in that, though, are they mostly Asian clients or are they non-Asian clients? I guess who's more interested in it, that aspect of it?
I do get a surprising amount of Asian clients who request, who, book me. And generally, I don't see many of them. It's a really weird, I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know. But basically a lot of Asians will book Asian providers and they expect additional services on top of what I normally offer. So they do tend to push my boundaries, and so I am very careful about that when booking with an Asian client. It's happened more often than not.
Will you get people who occasionally will kind of really push it, or once you say no, like they drop it?
I haven't had an issue with that in a very long time. My first year of doing this, yes, there were people that pushed my boundaries. But nowadays, I don't remember the last time someone pushed my boundaries. I've gotten really good at saying no.
Can you have like a normal life outside of it? Do you feel like you can have like a normal life, a normal dating life, all those kind of things?
Dating as an escort is a very interesting experience. My ex was very much not, he's supportive of sex workers in general, but he wasn't supportive of me doing sex work. And I find that's the case a lot of times is, they're supportive, but as soon as their partner starts doing it, then they lose all support. And so it was really hard for me to navigate that situation because that's how I make most of my money. That's my career. It took a lot of communication. Ultimately, it just didn't work. So a lot of escorts do run into the issue where they just can't find a partner that will support them. And I've been so lucky to find a partner that is in full support of what I do. And I love him so much.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I feel very, very lucky to be able to have a partner I know he's never going to ask me to stop. Unless I really hated it and really needed to get out, he's never going to ask me to stop. He understands that it's how I make money, and he understands that he can't support me, and nor do I want him to support me. I want to be able to support myself.
Is this something, though, that like you could do this for the rest of your life?
I feel like in this industry, it's very hard. Like, as the older you get, it's hard to stay in the industry and maintain a good chunk of clientele because they are generally looking for a younger, conventionally attractive provider.
Has anybody ever found out? Has anybody, like in your work or personal life that you didn't want to know ever kind of figured this out?
I mean, I'm pretty open with it, to be honest. I don't say what exactly I do in healthcare, nor will I ever. But I do, let them know I work in healthcare. So taking care of people is just something that I'm used to. And taking care of people is something that I guess just comes naturally to me. And it helps a lot with dominatrixing as well.
How come?
I do a lot of medical play, so a lot of needles, a lot of sharp objects. Yeah, that's usually everyone's reaction when I say that.
Yeah, that's like whatever people like to do your thing. But like needles, I'm like, yeah.
But I can promise you that it will be as safe as I can make it because I do have a background in dealing with needles, I guess.
What's the appeal of that for people?
I don't know.
Is it a pain thing? Or is it the needles specifically?
I know a lot of people are in it for the pain. I'm in it because it's just fun, because I can make pretty little patterns on someone's back.
Well, whatever. However people get down is however they get down. Oh, what is your typical client like? Like, is there a certain age range? Married, not married?
Married for sure. A lot of them are married. And as far as age range goes, I guess there's a very, very large age range. So I can't exactly put a number on that one. But a lot of them are married or in a relationship.
That kind of stands out a little bit. Why do you think that that is?
From what I hear from a lot of clients is they're looking for something very discreet, which they can find in an escort, because I pride myself in being as discreet as possible and protecting my clients' information. And they just don't get the touch that they need in their relationship. So they're not having that intimacy that they really want. Their partner's just not providing it for them. So they seek a provider. And honestly, sometimes it really, really helps their relationship. I've had clients come back and tell me, hey, I built up my confidence to ask my partner to do more things, maybe experiment more. And, you help facilitate that.
Has this become more or less popular in recent years, or about the same?
It's about the same, to be honest. I moved cities. I moved from Grand Rapids to Dallas. So the Dallas industry is interesting. And in Dallas, there is, I think, 900 plus providers. In Grand Rapids, there's a handful, but you generally knew which providers were, I guess, legitimate, which providers wouldn't rip you off. And so I think there was 5 of us. And in Dallas, I have no idea who's who.
What's your busy season? Is there a busy season? Is there a slow season?
Slow season is around now. Everyone's saving up for Christmas. Everyone's, focusing more on other things. Thanksgiving is very involved. Christmas is very involved. So this time of year is really slow. But all the other months, generally, that things start picking up.
Is there one month that you would say that's the busiest month?
March. Tax season.
Oh, because everybody's getting their refunds?
Well, I guess March, April, May.
Is it dangerous at all?
It can be. But there's things you can do to mitigate that danger. Like, for example, screening is a very, very, very big one. If you're going to come to my space, I better know who you are. And having, very firm boundaries as well.
That's pretty much all the questions that we got. Is there anything that you think that we missed?
No, I think you're pretty thorough.
If people want to kind of learn more, or they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
I have a contact form on my website. My website is katanavale.com. Vale as in VALE. Just because I want to separate my escort persona from my online persona. So my online persona is Katana Thorne. Everything's under Katana Thorne. And my escort stuff is under Katana Vale.